Hey guys, welcome back to Yellow Shoelaces. Today is Thursday. It is the most beautiful day ever. Clearly a no jacket day. And I say that because these past few days I have been taking a very, very light hoodie just to kind of travel. The wind has been insane and a little chill in the air. So today I am absolutely jacket free. I felt like I was walking on a cloud today. No crazy chilly breezes or anything, just beautiful sunshine, and I'm pretty excited. I mean, as you guys can tell, sun makes me so excited. I'm so happy right now. I'm just like smiling ear to ear. But anyway, enough about me in the sunshine. I know I promised you guys I was going to get into a rant about TV series that just gets me so aggravated as I watch them now today. You know, back then, you know, it was interesting, but, you know, watching them again now is just, ugh. So today I am going to be talking about Family Matters. You guys remember the TV show, Steve Urkel. How do we not know Steve Urkel, right? So this particular episode, it was season 2, episode 5. It was titled The Crash. Now, before I start ranting, I want you guys, bear with me. Don't judge me for ranting about a TV show because you're actually listening to me rant about a TV show. So what does that say about you? So before you start judging, just sit down, get your popcorn, and pay attention. So I had to watch the full show again because I remembered bits and pieces of it, why it made me so angry. So I actually watched a whole 23 minutes of it, you know, because I needed to give you guys details and why this show, well, this particular episode made me upset. There were others, but I just picked this one out because it was just crazy. Okay, so we know Steve was the neighbor who was just like lovesick over Laura, who was the sister. And then there was Eddie, the brother, Carl, the dad. You know, there was the mom, and she had a sister living with her who was raising her son. She was like a single mom, and I think Harriet was the mom's name. Harriet was the mom. I can't remember her sister offhand, and then they had a younger sister who you barely saw. Like, she always had like a quick cameo, and then she ran upstairs or into the kitchen. You know how that goes, never to be seen again sort of thing. She might have been in all of and I'm just rough guessing, maybe 4 episodes. I'll give it 6 the max, but between 4 and 6 episodes, I think, of season 2. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, let me know. I don't know, but I do know this, that later on in life, she became a porn star. Why I remember that bit of information, I have no idea. I guess, I do know that her parents spent most of her money. They didn't save anything for her. And I guess she just chose a new form of entertainment, maybe. I don't know. I mean, hey, Family Matters, it wasn't funny. It was entertaining, but not funny. But, you know, I guess she decided later on in life, entertainment is entertainment, right? So she did that. But anyway, enough of that. I need to focus. I'm focusing right now. So I started watching the episode just to kind of figure out how we got here with the car in the living room. Yes, a car in the living room. So Eddie's ready for his driver's test. His dad is supposed to be taking him. And of course, you know, Carl stressing him out. Watch out for this, watch out for that. Now, meanwhile, early on, we know that Carl told him, which is his dad, that he's a good driver. But now he has to show Eddie he's going to be this, you know, guy at the DMV who's taking him out driving, because this guy could just be like a stickler and just really, you know, deduct points from him. So he's, you know, taking him on a final, you know, drive around the block I don't even know where they live. I don't even know what state this is. But anywho, they're driving around a block. So he's just like, there's a car here. There's a truck there. There's a tree there. Be careful, freaking Eddie out. So we know now that Eddie is just like totally freaked out before he gets to take this test to get his license. And I'm going to jump a little bit because now, there's this young lady that, Eddie was interested in. And of course, she wants him only for the car. And she's just like the day of, she's over at his house. Did you get your license? Now you can drive me wherever and just take me to the mall, blah, blah, blah. Okay, she didn't say it like that. That's just me imitating her and how I thought she sounded. So Eddie's just like, look, this is going to happen. Today is the day I'm going to get my license. And we're just going to go cruising. Yes, I said it, cruising. Now, the day of the test, we come to find out that Eddie failed because he comes in the house. He's upset. So his sister Laura is just like, giving him the business. Like, what happened? Why are you so sad? Did you fail? And of course, yes, I failed because Dad, who is throwing these imaginary bread trucks and trees in my way, just totally freaked me out. And I couldn't get this out of my head. So I failed. Now, the same little young lady that was by the house earlier stressing him about his license is back again. Did you get it? Did you get it? Can you cat? She was just like kiki and cacaing and you just wanted to hit her. So basically, Eddie was going to be her chauffeur. So he lies to her, of course, and is like, listen, I got the license. Me and you, we're going to go riding around town. I'm going to get you a milkshake and some french fries or whatever you want because I got my license. Now we know he lying. So here comes Steve, chasing after Laura, getting his heart broken, which he always did, but he always managed to bounce back. Now, what really gets me is because as your sister, and I know you're lying, you're going to take a car out. And it's not just like some regular car. It's like a whole station wagon. Like he's driving a whole station wagon. His car is huge. So anything can happen. But we do know that his dad said he is a good driver. But still, you're not licensed. And the dad is a cop. Did I mention that part? His dad is a cop. So I know kids like to rebel. But you're driving with no license? Really? Come on, Eddie. Think about it. Yes, I know kids have done worse and their parents are judges or whatever. But you know what? Let's get back to family matters because that's what really matters. See what I did there? So anyway, we get to the part now where Laura is like brushing Steve off because he's following her all around. And so she's ready to be out. She's like, look, I'm going upstairs. I ain't got time for all this nonsense. So Urkel is like, yo, what's up? What can I do for you, Laura, to make your life easier? And she's like, you know what you can do? Know what you can do, Steve? You can stand right here and let me know when my brother gets in because I'm going to have some words for him because what he did was like dead wrong. He's going to hear me out. So literally 2 seconds later, you hear this horn blowing and this car just comes crashing through the living room. It's just like dust, wood everywhere. It's a crazy scene. And you're like, okay. Now, I'm just like watching this now, like after all these years going, okay, first of all, he jumps out of the car. I mean, there was no screaming by Laura or Urkel because Urkel says to her, he's home. Like she wouldn't have heard that crash from upstairs. Like you needed Steve to announce that. And let's just say she did hear it and I'm being super harsh on her because she didn't even come down until Steve said he's here. So she comes running down the stairs and there's no screaming, like, nervousness, nothing. Eddie jumps out of the car. Well, not before the girl did. She jumps out of the car. Eddie jumps out and Laura's like, Eddie, are you okay? He's like, yeah, Then he proceeds to ask this trollop if she's okay. I mean, young lady, if she's okay. And she's just like, yeah. So mind you, you ran through a whole front living room. No whiplash, no scratches, nothing. And I know they had airbags in those cars back then. So I don't even care what y'all say. Maybe there was airbags in there. They did not deploy. So let's just get that straight. So I'm just sitting there going, okay, Nobody's even thinking to call the police, the ambulance. Just because you said you're okay, you might not be okay. They didn't even have on seatbelts. How about that? No seatbelts. Near neighbor came over to check on them. You live in a city somewhere. Your dad's a cop. You live in a city somewhere. No neighbors around. And we know that Steve lives next door to them. Steve's parents didn't even come to see what's going on. Nobody. Guys, forgive that train. I already told you guys, I live not too far from the train station and near the park. So y'all gonna hear some screaming, yelling, and train horns blaring. So disregard that part. So, okay. Now, a few minutes later, mind you, I'm watching this without commercials. So, the power of no commercials, people. Dad comes in with Harriet and he's screaming to the top of his lungs, "There's a car in the living room." And Harriet is all like, "Carl, calm down. First of all, don't tell me to calm down. You got a whole car in my living room. And I know it's my son. I know he did it because he was so eager to drive this car. I know he did it." But she's like, "Carl, calm down." He's like, "Harriet, there's a car in the living room. Please focus. Because I'm focused at watching this going, it's about to be some like smack ups or beat downs or something is going to happen. Nope. Nothing. Now, mind you, this show was never funny to me. It wasn't like ha funny. There wasn't even really like a moment in any of the seasons that I watched that you even got a hearty chuckle. It was entertaining, but not funny. So yeah, I feel really good about giving this rant because it wasn't a funny show at all. But anyway, we're focusing again. He's ready to kill Eddie because he knows in his heart that he did it. But of course, Steve, the good guy, is like, "Listen, Carl, listen." And I know Steve is kind of special and a little off in the head, but why are you calling me Carl? I'm your senior. Don't do that. But listen, let him do it. Too far gone now, right, Carl? So, ready to kill Eddie, Steve steps in and was like, "Look, it was not Eddie. It was me. I'm the bad seed here, Carl. I did this. I did it. I drove this car straight through your living room." And Carl is like, "I know you lying, but why?" And there is no question, just like, what reason would you have been in my car? He didn't ask them that. How did you get the keys? He didn't ask Steve any of that. It was just basically, why did you drive the car through the living room? And he's like, "Because I'm bad." Not, first he meant bad, like bad person, but then he switches it up real quick, Steve style. "I'm bad to the bone," comedic relief. And I was just over it. I was like, get out. So he goes through this whole spiel. Harriet, her sister, Carl, chase him out of the house. And so Laura's like, "Look, Steve is annoying. He's very annoying. But Eddie, you wrong for this. You are so wrong. Wrong. How you gonna let this boy take the rap for you?" So I'm just like, okay. At this point, I already had enough. Like, I'm getting up, getting some juice. And I'm just like, I could wash some dishes because I already know what's going to happen. Like, you don't really have to watch the whole episode. I know enough. But for you guys, I wanted to watch everything so I can just be really concise about my review of Family Matters, because that's what really matters. So anywho, Laura, blah, 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 "Eddie, you suck, blah, 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 you wrong for that. Don't do that to Steve." So, of course, Carl's threatening to tell Steve's parents. Now, you're threatening to tell his parents. I would have dragged him over there. "I'm going to go talk to your parents." Really? You have a car in your living room. Now, let's just pause here for 1 second, because I just want to, what about structural damage? Like, this house is mostly wood, some bricks. But we're not even thinking about structural damage here. The second floor could have caved in and people could have been seriously hurt. But we're not even thinking about calling a hotel, calling the insurance company to see, if we can get a hotel, if we should stay somewhere else. The building department, nobody's going to come out and check the house to see if we should stay here, which they did, of course. And I'm just like, okay, my mind. Back then, we didn't think of this, but there was structural damage. I'm sure. I don't work on buildings, but I'm pretty sure there was structural damage. Now, a few moments later, car is out of the living room. You see plastic covering a gaping hole in the living room. And I'm saying to myself, you know, you guys are going to sleep here with just plastic. Now, again, I don't know where they live, but just because your dad's a cop doesn't mean you're going to have random people not coming in your house to steal whatever's left from the damage. Because clearly your neighbors don't care about you because they did not come out when a car crashed through your living room. So the neighbors don't care. So if some willy-nilly goofball comes in and sees plastic covering a house in the middle of the night and comes in and takes your stuff, whose fault is that? Whose fault? Okay, you know what? I'm refocusing because I'm kind of going on a tangent, but that's what you guys are listening for, right? The tangent. So we see a few minutes later, Steve comes over, military uniform, which he just happens to have because his parents are sending him to military school to teach him a lesson for crashing the car into the living room of his neighbors who didn't come to check on their family. Okay, you got that part right. So he's boo-hoo-hoo and giving a sob story. And so Eddie's feeling so guilty with the help of Laura, of course. And he's just like giving him a baseball glove with, you know, a ball in it saying, you know, I got this some years ago. I just wanted to sit closer. So Eddie's just like, oh my God, I really like Steve. So let me go tell Dad what really happened. Here's the freaking kicker. Here's the kicker. So he goes in and he's like buttering up Dad. And Dad is just like kind of over it at this point because he's doing other shit. He's like blowing up balloons for his young nephew slash, I don't know. Yeah, it was his nephew. And he's blowing up balloons for his party. So Eddie kind of slides in, you know, that hole. That wasn't Steve, Dad. It was me. I did it. And he's just like, okay, so you basically blame Steve for something that you did. And I'm just like, now he's going to get it. Now he's going to get it. I mean, I've seen this years ago, but I think it's going to be different now because I'm watching it as an adult. He's going to get it. No, he didn't get it. So the dad is just like, why? Why lie? And he's just like, Dad, I don't know. I freaked out. And it's just, you know, I didn't want to lose the respect of this trollop young lady. And instead, I've lost your respect. So Carl's all like, listen, you did not lose my respect. And then proceeds to tell him that it was his fault for freaking him out right before the test. Really? Really? So not a smack upside the head, you know, not roughing up, grabbing by the collar, go upstairs. You're going to sleep in that room. I don't even care if there's structural damage. You're going to sleep in that room. And if your bed falls through this floor, you deserve it. You deserve it. None of that. He's like, it's my fault. So, of course, Eddie, cloud nine, he's ready to pop, get out of here. He's like, look, all right, we good. I told the truth. This is it. We are on already like 20 minutes. We got like 3 minutes left of the show. I'm good, right, Dad? No. So he's grounded for a month and has to work odd jobs until he pays the damage for the house. And he has to go tell Steve's parents that Steve didn't do it. Now, wouldn't you take your child over there to explain? Because you told Steve as the father that you were going to have a talk with his parents. So why not go over there with your son to tell them that he did it? You know, and that's the thing. It's just like these kids get off scot-free. I know it's TV. Stop judging me. And I know you're not doing it out loud. Some of you might be. I could kind of feel it through here. But again, you're listening to this. So all the fingers that are pointing at me, look at how many are pointing at you. Eat your popcorn. So yeah, and it's just basically, I get it's a fun-filled family show, hence the word family and Family Matters. And it's lovey-dovey because he hugs them. I mean, I don't want him to whip out an extension cord or anything like that. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. But I'm just saying, like, there was no punishment. Like, you're not going to learn your lesson clearly because other episodes, it was other shenanigans happening too. We know that. So this is what grabs me, because it's like you're living in a house. Your son crashes a whole station wagon, not a small car, a station wagon through your living room. There's structural damage. You're allowing your family to sleep in this house. You blame their neighbor kid, find out that it's not the neighbor kid. You still won't take your own kid over there to the neighbors to say that your kid did it. And on top of that, your neighbors don't even care about you because nobody came to check on you. And you could possibly be robbed because you only have plastic covering your house. Now, we know, unless they live near a Home Depot, that front of the house ain't getting fixed that fast. It's not. And who did the cleanup? Because you don't even see that part. You don't see who's cleaned up all that rubble and everything, the wood that smashed, the beams and everything. I didn't even think about that. We did not see any cleanup. All we saw was the plastic. But you know what? That is my rant for Family Matters, because it ended with hugs and galore and people smiling. And maybe that's that time, when the series was coming out. It was all feel good, lovey. Well, listen, I'm going to knock you off your little feel good, lovey pedestal, because I was not feeling good and I was not being lovey to any one of those characters in that particular episode. So there will be more episodes of Family Matters and other TV series that I've grown to love / hate and annoyed by. But yeah, that's my review. I hope you guys liked it. And I don't know, if you feel the same way, let me know about that episode or any other TV shows that you thought were doing way too much as you watch them today. Back then, we tolerated it, but has there been any shows that you watch today that you may have watched years ago and you're like, what the hell? Why was I even watching this? It made no sense to me at all. And if the only message was to feel good and forgive, isn't that what church is for? I mean, I don't know. Listen, exciting news. I received some letters today. I left my P.O. box in the description box. Guys, check it out. It's Yellow Shoelaces, P.O. Box 381, and that's Bloomfield, New Jersey, 07003. If you want to write some letters, ask me some questions. There may be things that, you don't want to talk about in front of your friends or your families, and just have me talk about it here. I'd be more than willing to do so. And everybody remains anonymous. I do not read out your names or anything. Just read the questions and comment on them. I'm not an expert in any way, shape, or form on anything. But listen, you asked for my opinion, and I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. Okay. So yeah, I have some letters. I will read one next episode, and, hopefully I will be of some help. I don't know. Even if I'm not helped, just to air it out there. That person can come up with some answers themselves. I don't know. But guys, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this episode. Favorite TV shows back then, favorite TV shows now, even TV shows today that might get on your nerves. That's a little just unrealistic, but watchable, entertaining, not necessarily funny, but entertaining. And we will answer all those questions later together. And thank you guys for joining and staying with me this far. I hope you have an amazing, beautiful Thursday. Remember to always stay intrigued. And until next time, bye.